Hello and welcome to another video of mine. And this is a series that I'm doing titled Old Game, New Feel. This is the third episode in this series. And in today's video, we are going to be taking a look at The Evil Within Part 2. Yes, this is a sequel, a direct sequel to the game called The Evil Within, which came out, I believe, in 2014. So this is a direct sequel to that. This game came out in 2017. It's developed by a company called Tango Gameworks, published by Bethesda. So everybody knows, Bethesda Softworks. They're known for a lot of popular games. And just before I start this video, like any other video of mine, just a little bit of information about the game. Now, this game came out on the PlayStation 4. It came out on the Xbox One. It came out on the PC as well. And it came out in October of 2017. The sequel, that is, the original game, the first part, came out in 2014. Now, when this game came out, there were a lot of positive reviews about this game. And this game supposedly fixed a lot of issues with the first game. Now, like any other video of mine, again, I'm just going to give you a little bit of information about the plot as well, the story setting, etc. So this game is basically set 3 years after the events of the first game. Now you have your protagonist in this character called Sebastian Castellanos. I believe I'm getting that name right. So he basically has his child named Lily, who was supposedly perished in this house fire. Now you see this scene here playing out. Now this is a house fire, but I think this is an imagining of what the original situation was. So he lost his daughter. That's what he thinks in this house fire. And what this does to Sebastian is it traumatizes him, and he doesn't take it really well. He takes to alcohol. He becomes an alcoholic, and that's basically the premise of what this game starts out with. Now, as you can see, the graphics in this game for 2017, it's not that old. It's not as old as some of the other games that I've spoken about in this series, because some of the games that I've seen, were from 2013, like Final Fantasy. The last video that I was making was a game which was from 2013, so it was quite old. Now this game, 2017, not bad. So the graphics are definitely comparatively better. And I'll give you my thoughts about this game. I've played this game, and to begin with, I'll say that I actually quite enjoyed it. And I want you to hear me out for the next maybe 20 to 25 minutes of gameplay as to what my thoughts are about this game. Now, first of all, this game is available on Game Pass, so you don't have to spend anything extra on this game. Go ahead, download this game. If you like it, fantastic. Don't like it, just delete it. Now, this game also benefits from getting the FPS Boost. Now, FPS Boost, it's been a big game changer for Xbox Series S and X. And this game is no different, because it definitely makes the game visually more appealing. Now, the extra frames for a game like this, even with the narrative element, I think does make it flow better, look better, and feel better. Overall, I think it really enhances the game. So FPS Boost is such a fantastic thing to have into console gaming, especially Xbox Series S and X. So let me go back to the story. Now here, what you see is a conversation happening between Sebastian, and there's this agent called Kidman. So this is going down in a bar because, hey, like I told you, the protagonist has become an alcoholic. So you would obviously find him in a place where you get loads of alcohol, a bar. All right, so
where did you get this?
The voice acting is actually quite good. Overall, the character animation and the character design is really good. 2017, I think this game looks good for its time.
I read the police report. I was at her funeral.
We can rewrite
Well, the lip syncing could have been better, but I think there is no use of motion capture here, because the emotions on their faces, or the expressions, they're not really up to the mark as per motion capture. So this is definitely not motion capture, but hey, it's still getting the job done. I think it's effective in communicating that
What have
message.
you done to her? Get your hands off me.
Get your hands off me, Agent Smith. This looks and feels very much like a Matrix environment. Whoopsie.
I was hoping you'd come willingly, Sebastian.
I like the character designs. The protagonist looks really good. I think, the supporting cast like Kidman here,
Lily needs
she also looks pretty good. Even the child, Lily, the character design was actually good. If the alcohol doesn't get you, well, a syringe into your neck definitely will. Sweet dreams. All right.
You're awake. Good.
Yeah. Great.
So it has a lot of storytelling, through these cutscenes, and there are a lot of cutscenes in this game, by the way.
You're in one of our facilities.
This section looks fantastic. It's kind of like an industrial kind of a setup,
Don't know how
like a factory or a plant. And the 60 FPS, boy oh boy, does it look good. It really makes the game look so much better. It's silky smooth.
Where's Lily?
Whoa.
patience.
And as you pan the camera around, you kind of feel how big of a difference the 60 FPS makes. Man, the level design is really good. And these cutscenes, these are in-game cutscenes. They're not pre-rendered cutscenes. I mean, you can tell when you've got a pre-rendered cutscene and when you've got an in-game cutscene. Now, these cutscenes are really good.
What does this have to do with my daughter?
Imagine it. Millions of minds.
Another agent. At least it looks like another agent.
Happiness for one.
This game, I'll tell you, you know what? While I played it, it reminded me of the Matrix in a lot of places. And I hopefully will be able to give you some references, like the those agents in the suits with the glasses. Even this guy here, who is talking to Sebastian now. And even the overall setup. Now, what do I mean by that? You'll get to find out in just a few minutes now.
Lily to that machine?
You see, you connected Lily to that machine, so you're going to be connected to a machine, very much like plugging yourself into the Matrix.
Thanks to her, the new stem.
I don't know if it's just me who's kind of trying to connect the two universes or games or movies,
A little over a week.
movie to game, rather, it didn't have a movie exactly. So
Just stop
Matrix
thinking.
movies, Matrix games to this particular game.
Began to collapse.
I don't know if it's just me or maybe you guys feel the same as well. Do let me know. I mean, look at these guys. I mean, they're plugged into
Agents inside. But then we
this
lost
place.
contact with them, and STEM
This place,
Think about this, Mr.
STEM, as they call it in this game.
I am providing you an opportunity. Not only to see your daughter again, but to save her life. Something you thought you
All right, so
failed to do before.
well, if you're a parent, you would know that you would do anything for a child. So in this case, once he gets to know that his child could actually be alive, hey, any parent would take that opportunity, to be able to save their child again. So that's what he's going to do, just like any father or any parent would do. So he's now ready to get plugged into the STEM to go into this other world, very much like Matrix. Again, hey, do let me know in the comments what you guys think about it as well. So we've got agents in suits. We've got a bloke who's plugging himself into this other place called
Just remember,
the
don't
STEM.
worry the moment you find Lily.
I think that's what they call it.
Extraction process. I'll be out here for you.
And I will be looking forward to seeing you again, Miss Kidman. Right. There's this town as well in this place called Union. You'll get to, see that town a little later on as well in this video. So I'll be talking about that. But hey, so far, this game looks brilliant. I mean, the lighting, the level design, the character animation, the voice acting, everything is stellar. It's really good. Now, I did play the first game as well, let me tell you that, but I did not play a lot of it because I thought that the initial few minutes of that particular game, it was really slow. I didn't like it that much, I would say. And it also looked very different to this. This game looks far better. So, in the 3 years gap that it has had, there's been this massive leap in how this game looks compared to the first part in the series. And I've played this game and I've liked this game. In fact, I wanted to play more. Now, this will remind you of other horror or survival horror games like Resident Evil. And there can easily be comparisons made. And I'm sure, when the game came out, when the reviewers were reviewing it, I'm sure there were a lot of, parallels that they would have drawn, a lot of comparisons made with the Resident Evil series, because in a lot of places it does look like that. But let me tell you that this game has a soul of its own. It has its own character. And in many places, I actually enjoyed it more than Resident Evil. I mean, a few of the Resident Evil games at least. So you are going to be invested in this character, Sebastian. There is a purpose as to why you're playing this game, to find your child, Lily. So you are invested right from the get-go. And that's what I like. I mean, if there is good purpose, if you have a good protagonist, which I believe we do have with Sebastian. He's a good protagonist. I mean, he's not one of those, lousy, blokes who are irritating. So you feel for this guy emotionally. He's lost a child and he's coping with it. And he would do anything to find his child. So it's a pretty good reason, for anybody to play this game. So you're connected to Kidman. And then you talk to Kidman throughout the game. But hey, it's all about you being in this other place. There's this place called the stem that you're connected into. And the lighting effects, just take a look at, the lens flare, take a look at the particle effects as well, rain falling. It's fantastic. I mean, the reflection on the surface, the water that you see at the bottom, it's all really good. It's a game which was put together really well. Even this transition from that scene to this scene, everything is top notch. I must tell you that, this game really looks good. The levels, they have this atmospheric feel about it. And I like that in a game where they have given a lot of thought into the level design. This is as detailed as a level can get. I mean, in terms of being in at a police station, I guess. It's pretty detailed, from the wooden furnitures to the profiles on the board, to the files lying around, to your computer. It's really got the level design nailed. Even some certificates on the wall. Wow. A place to hang your coat. The fan, I mean, just look at that. And while I'm panning the camera, look at the smoothness of the 60 FPS. That's what this series for me has been about. You take games which earlier used to run at 30 FPS on Xbox One, and now, thanks to the FPS boost, they all run at 60 FPS, even on your Xbox Series S. And I'm playing this on the Xbox Series S. I mean, just look at how smooth this is. And trust me, if you play it on a good 4K television, you are really going to have a great time. So you're connected to Kidman, and yeah, so she's just telling that, scan as much as you can, take a look at, the place, and get as much information as possible about what you are going to get into. So it's your regular stuff. This feels a lot like Resident Evil. And trust me, in a lot of places it does. Like collecting herbs even, like plants. Then you've got to collect ammunition, weapons. Even the camera angle, the over the shoulder camera angle, and when you sprint, when you walk, it does remind you of Resident Evil. It definitely does. So if you just change the skin of this character, and if you make this character look like Chris from Resident Evil, it's going to look like a Resident Evil game. So that's where you have those similarities in the way it looks, in the way it runs, the gameplay. But there are a lot of things which are very different to Resident Evil. For instance, there are dialogue options as well in this game. I mean, options in the sense, I don't think it really has a consequence on what's going to happen to the story, but it does have those cinematic cutscenes where you're having a conversation with other characters in the game, and you will find that a little later on in the game. That gives it a very RPG kind of a feel. So it kind of reminds me of games like maybe Assassin's Creed. I mean, not a lot, but hey, a little bit, at least a little bit. And that's where it differs from your older Resident Evil games. That's where it's different. I think the overall level design is, in my personal opinion, in fact, even better than Resident Evil 2, at least. I know what I'm saying. It's just my personal opinion. And you're free to voice out yours. Let me know in the comment section as to what you feel about this game. I think that this game has a lot of variety in what you can do in terms of the level. You go from open fields to buildings, and the lighting is mind-blowing. I mean, they've really got the lighting nailed to the point. Really good.
It doesn't seem like you've got much control this time either.
So there's a lot of chit-chatting and talking that you have to do, all to uncover the story, the plot, basically.
You were never a real detective, Kidman.
So you're now in this place called Union. That's the town. And you're in this police station, and your journey begins from here. Now, a lot of information you can scan. And again, I'm just playing the first maybe 20 to 25 minutes of this game just to give you a feel of how it feels. I'm not cutting anything. I'm not, skipping ahead or anything like that. So in case you feel that the first 20 to 25 minutes looks good, then hey, do go ahead, download the game, just like I did. Now, the one thing that I noticed was, just like Resident Evil games, or before I get there, a cat, another Matrix reference. You remember Deja Vu? So I don't know if it's me or, if it's the game developers themselves, they wanted to get inspired by the Matrix. So you do have some scenes which will remind you of the Matrix as well. Plugging in the cat, agents in suits with the glasses. Don't forget the glasses. So yeah, these are some of the places where you will feel like the Matrix, or two different realities. And while you're moving around, while I was sprinting, while I was even kicking the door, it is smooth. This is what you will appreciate about the FPS Boost. And if you have played this game earlier on your Xbox One, with the FPS Boost, you will appreciate the smoothness, and you will find that it gives a fresh breath of life to these old games. And that's what this series is about. Playing those old favorite games of yours on your current gen consoles and getting a new feel from them. So these are save points which you will find across the game. And it is advisable that you save your game progress wherever you can. So yes, let's move over to another section. We are already 20 minutes into the game. And trust me, I really enjoyed my time with the game. So much that I wanted to continue. It was all about uncovering this story. And I was definitely invested in both the protagonist and even the child, Lily. I wanted to know what's up with Lily. What's going to happen? How is she connected in all this? Now, this particular scene, it had a few, I would say, frame drops. I experienced a few frame drops here, but in terms of the overall look, this kind of reminded me of Resident Evil Village. If you guys feel the same, do let me know. It's kind of a similar setup, how the game starts.
Mom can fix it for you. She can fix anything.
Oh, by the way, one more quick fun fact about this game. In the setting, you even have a first-person mode available. So right now, I'm playing this game on the third-person mode, but you can toggle between the two modes without having to restart the game. So if you're a fan of first-person shooters, first-person games, then you have an option of playing the same game with the first-person camera angle as well. And you don't even have to restart the game. That's really appreciated. And even with the first-person camera, you can feel the 60 FPS smoothness, the 60 FPS goodness.
You've been working too hard. It's making
And this game looks good for its time. I mean, 2017, there's a lot of detail in the background. If you check out that sofa, the lighting that's coming in from the windows, the furniture, the carpentry, etc., it's all top notch. I mean, it's really good. They've put in a lot of details in the level design. Yeah, sure, there are some textures which could have been better, but hey, this is 2017, and this game is running on the Xbox Series S right now.
Is this the right place?
Look at the design of that door, the arch. It's very good. It's really good. The levels are very atmospheric. There are a lot of places where you even have jump scares, by the way, and I was literally scared. I was like jumping in my chair. The cloth feels really fluid, I would say, and it's these levels which really add to the overall experience and the immersiveness of the game. I really appreciate that. No wonder this game had high reviews, scores, because it deserves that. It deserves those high ratings. I was really invested in this game. I played a lot more than this, a lot more than the 20 to 25 minutes. And I am thinking of going back in, after my first initial playthrough. I didn't play the first game. Overall, I played the first game for around 30 to 40 minutes, but it was not as interesting as this one. Let me tell you that. So this game, the plot really has you hooked. You're invested in the protagonist in the game. Oh, by the way, another fun fact. These pictures on the wall, it kind of reminds you of the game Alan Wake or the Control. Control, I think. It's not the Control, it's just Control. And again, I enjoyed my time with this game. And I would highly recommend that you check the game out. It's anyways on Game Pass. So if you've got Game Pass, no harm in downloading it. Oh, look at this scene. It's fantastic. I mean, fantastic in the sense, don't get me wrong, it is gory, so minus the blood. What I'm appreciating is the level design, and what I'm appreciating is the smoothness of the FPS boost. And what I am appreciating is the overall details in the game. This game is a well-made game, and you should check it out. I would highly recommend it. Do let me know your thoughts in the comment section as well as to what you feel about this game. If you've played this game, how would you rate this game? Do let me know your favorite part from the game, and what do you think about it overall? Well, that's it for this video, folks. I think I would end it here. If you've enjoyed this video, then I would appreciate it if you would like and subscribe to my channel. Consider subscribing to my channel. I do put out content like this, and you can share it with your friends, your family members, and also hit that bell icon in case you want to get notified with all my latest videos. Now, with that said, it's a wrap for this one, and I'll see you lovely folks in my next video. Until that time, I'll say take care, stay safe, and may God bless you all.